Hello, I'm Jeremy Rivera, your unscripted SEO podcast host. I'm here with Sonia Urquilla, who I met on TikTok. We're definitely going to talk about that a little bit. But first, I want you to introduce yourself and tell us why we should trust you as an SEO expert based off of your experience or capabilities.
Hola, Jeremy. Thank you for having me here. I'm excited and nervous and all about it. But okay, for me, actually, it all started now looking back at it. Like when I was young, my dad used to have a business at a local shop and he was doing really great. And for some time, out of nowhere, the foot traffic just stopped. And unfortunately, we had to close the business. My dad had to go work a cleaning job at the airport. And I remember I was starting doing like bracelets at his shop, maybe hoping that food traffic will come in by doing these bracelets. And then now when I'm doing SEO, it just clicked on me saying like, oh, my dad actually needed visibility. He had the shop, but he didn't have a Google My Business profile. He didn't have a website. None of that. It was just like the local shop in the corner and that's it. And no traffic came in. And now it hits for me is like now when these female consultants or coaches come to me with I need visibility, I need to rank, I need to sell my offers, I just think back of my dad and I'm like, okay, let me see what I can do to help you because I know what it feels like. I had to go work as well when I was in high school to help. All of us had to go back and see how we can help pay the rent, buy food and all of that. So yeah, it's very personal, pretty much. Yeah. So
He didn't have ChatGPT,
no.
as his personal, a concierge sending people your way. I mean, my friend Matt Brooks at SEO Tarek, he says you've got to train your, customer support representative. Claude is, kind of lazy unless you tell him exactly what's going on.
Mhm.
You got to fill the blanks for him. So tell me a little bit about what niches you're working in SEO. What are your favorite industries that you've worked with so far? And if you have one, what's your bread and butter right now?
So all of this that I'm doing, pretty even getting into SEO came pretty much organically. I did a career change and I was tapping into marketing and I took this SEO course and I pretty much didn't like it. So I said SEO is not for me. So I actually quit SEO. But as I was doing interviews, they were not working. I asked my career coach, give me some hands-on project. And went into my LinkedIn profile and she saw my SEO course and she said, how about you optimize my website? You do SEO. So I'm like, okay, is this or nothing? So I went in and I went into YouTube to watch, all of these experts and it took me so long just to do on-page SEO, like months. But 4 weeks later, she got the traffic and I was very happy and I'm like, okay, this is for me. And then I started talking about this experience on LinkedIn and then female coaches, consultants, business owners started coming like into my feed and I started reaching out to them. We became friends, networking, and then I got laid off from my full-time job and I just said, you know what, let me go into this. And I started like getting clients into the service business space. So online business providers,
Mhm.
organically, it just happened. And now like pretty much 100% of them or 99% of them are like female coaches, founders, online business, local business are just female founders. And now I'll say I started with SEO, right? Optimizing your brand to rank. And as I'm learning more and more, now we have AI, but now I'm like, you need to optimize your brand pretty much. That's what I'm calling it. Like, not only on your website, but your social media channels too, but also you need to be found in other places. Now we have Reddit. Now we have podcasts. Go on podcasts. Now we have other blog collaboration, features in your local community, local citations. So I'm like, you need to optimize your brand to be found, to be mentioned, because now we just don't know where your audience is searching. Now we have AI into Google Maps as well. People are just searching and typing the big prompts on Google Maps as well. So optimize your brand has been like, I just like talking about that, and I'm including that with my clients too and myself. Yeah.
Is that the solution for the boring industry problem? Because, like, oh, we sell agricultural products. We're waste oil heaters. So then the pivot is, building brand and showing expertise and supporting existing customers as a knowledge base.
I would say yes. To be honest, even for me, like SEO, I keep hearing my clients saying it's too complicated. I don't want to do it myself. But I saw your video, but I saw your interview talking about something that is not even SEO related, but because of how I talk or how I explain, is like they come into my brand and it's like, okay, I actually need this, or they type something on ChatGPT. So yeah, it just removes the boring stuff. And also now with AI all over, like give that human touch, get to know you pretty much, the brand behind it, because sometimes we craft really good, corporate like websites, or the websites and the designs that they are kind of like, once they get to meet you, it's like, oh, you're actually pretty cool, pretty like, funny or things like that. And sometimes it doesn't show in the content or things like that. So yeah.
So is that the new method for like choosing and hiring an SEO consultant? Just have like a stand-up night and see like who you vibe with the best?
That would be, yes, that would be pretty cool actually. But yeah, I would say so. It's just now I feel that even I keep coming back to this AI because it's just now the new thing. I feel that now has kind of level up the competition, and where like like new brands are showing up, getting mentioned. So now it's really like, how can you stand up more in this new vast of like your neighbor is the same services that you offer, and then she might be also mentioned on AI or things like that. So how can you just stand up and like just be yourself out there online? It's like, we don't want the pretty, well, put together things anymore. Well,
It's
sometimes.
kind of it's kind of funny that the pushback of all I call it beta test culture. Like
Mm,
because if you look at 2002, 2010, when there was a major software company, they were so cautious about what they put out into the wild because their stock would dip immediately if the release was poor or the feedback wasn't great, right? But now with everything getting pushed now, you know, we get new models launched and there's no way that they've done more than like a couple weeks testing at most, like at very, very most, and there's indications of even shorter cycles. And so we as a culture have just been pushed into this constant status update of beta testing and like, oh, well, Google's displaying and saying that macaroni cheese should have gasoline in it. Oops. I guess that's just how it is. You know, it's like who we would have never have accepted, the idea. We grew up with data from Star Trek. We
mm,
have all of these cyborgs. We would have never imagined that they'd give us like horrible stock tips or like be like accurate like 60% of the time and 40% of the time they're just making stuff up. That was never I never read, and I read a lot of science fiction. I got a lot of science fiction
yeah,
books here.
I'm looking at
We
it. Yeah.
we never came up with the idea of like a pathetic AI experience where
Wow.
like they could be like it was like AI is coming. It's going to know everything. It's going to know your deepest, darkest, like, you're like hanging out and like the AI is watching cat videos with you. Like, this is who we're supposed to be scared of. I'm not scared. I'm kind of scared that we thought that this was going to be at the end of the world.
My God, yes, yeah. I still talk with some people, like some business owners that are still scared to even try AI because of the same thing. And I'm like, girl, you're just missing on the opportunity. Like, just use it, play with it. It's not just, yeah, it's crazy when they started coming out. It's like, oh my God, the algorithm, like you were talking about on TikTok, it was just full of this, like, this is over. Now you're not going to have no more privacy or A, B, and C, which, I'm not saying that it just depend on how you use it, who uses it, but, it's just the fear mongering, like I keep saying, it's preventing some businesses to take advantage of that and pretty much take themselves to another level because of all this noise, pretty much.
Absolutely. Yeah, I definitely see, and I've talked to people, when I'm doing, local consulting, like with my church or with people that are more like service area business owners. It's weird because they really could use the help on the automation side of things, whether it's like, using AI to schedule, people that are calling in. I mean,
Mm.
it's embarrassing. Like, I think Darren Shaw, he did a study where like 80% of people that send a message to any local business never get any response. And the amount of businesses that reply like within an hour is less than 1%. And then you're like, oh, if you talk to any local small business owner who provides services, they're like, oh, I wish somebody would call. I really need some business. And then you look at their email like, what about this person? Oh yeah, I really slow on the quote. I was out. All of these excuses. There's this huge disconnect. I had a contract with the local asphalt guy, and as like on a percentage basis, we struck a partnership. Like, I'll do your digital marketing. I'll get you leads. I literally handed him my neighbor who was begging for a new driveway, and handed it over. He's like, yeah, I'll get to him. 2 days later, 4 days later, my neighbor's like, are you
Yeah.
going to get back to me? Am I getting a new driveway? What's going on? I'm like, let me check. And just, I don't like, there's a huge disconnect between like the internal demand, and thought process of small, like local service providers, what they think that they want, what
Uh-huh.
they're willing to do. And it seems most of them just like want to be outdoors and hitting stuff with hammers. But to do that, you got to do the office work.
Yeah, I feel that is yeah, that's a big gap, and I seen that a lot, to be honest, especially when you're the only one running the business, right? It's like, I want the leads, I want the clients, but sometimes you cannot handle your own systems, or you don't have systems at all to even follow back, or like have some systems in place to really, like, okay, be able to serve that amount of people that are gonna come your way. And yeah, I seen that a lot, especially in when you are the only one running the business, and especially if you don't know how to really use, right, things to automate, like AI, right? It's like you're not tech savvy, like how some of my clients say, I'm not tech savvy, and they really don't. So sometimes they do struggle to have that system, and it can get very overwhelming, and sometimes it can be a break deal even for your business, having that foundation like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I found interviews to be such a wellspring of great content that checks that human box off. And it's not just like a podcast interview, but actually like, there was a precast concrete company in Florida. I interviewed both the CEO and the guy that actually does the installations just to get like the marketing speak side and then like what you actually need to do this thing on site. and then like filter out, the stuff that shouldn't be on public facing. Like you can't just drop in a raw transcript without like massaging it with Claude. But there's so much there with dropping those two in a series of prompts, and you've got 4, 5, 6 articles, probably some content for your about page, your service pages, certainly. We came up with, 3 holes in their product, line of like, well, hey, people want to know if they can dig under this security wall that's getting installed. That's their major concern. They ask every time, like, then you should have a page. If
Mhm.
anybody asks a question more than once about your business, make a page.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just, yeah, I feel that. I mean, I guess we as marketers are able to see that, but sometimes I keep like my clients, some of them are saying like, oh, they keep asking this question over and over. Okay, let's make a page about it. Let's add it on the FAQs. Let's write a blog about it. It's make a post about that. It's just so you also cut down the time of like when they come into you asking the same question over and over and over instead of they just asking the question so you can just make them your client faster, the explaining that you have to do over and over and over and over. So it's just we are able to see that and immediately just click with it and then put it into action. So and they and we don't when they don't have us, then that's when they just keep answering the same question over and over, and then I guess that's when they get frustrated too. So yeah. Mm-mm.
Have a call you out type question. Are
Yeah.
you an SEO that does your own SEO? Like, do you actually add stuff to your site? Do you create content on, I think it's SEO by Sonia.com, right?
Yeah. Mhm.
Do you actually build links? Do you try to create content that ranks? Do you do your Google Maps business, or are you another SEO with a one-page website
Oh,
and don't actually get any leads organically?
no, no, I do. I hate that. The one page website, they always trigger me and I'm like, okay, I get it. Sometimes you just want to save money or no, I do my own SEO. I have my own Google My Business profile, trying to get backlinks, my content, updating my content, and see what works and doesn't. Is it easy? No, because I do put a lot of my effort on my clients, and sometimes like for example, this month I haven't been able to write my blog, so I've been just updating, whatever it has high impressions, low clicks, like that. But I haven't been able to write new blogs for my own websites because I've been doing it for my clients. So, but I always try to, yeah. No, that's my thing. It's like I always no, no, I will feel like a disservice is like if I show you a strategy that I haven't done or tested on myself, it's just like that. Because when I started doing SEO, pretty much I didn't have a website. It was like a free website, which it was my marketing profile to show to employers when I was doing interviews, but I did it. And I really, really hated that to not have a website when I started out um, talking about marketing SEO, my LinkedIn, because that was the only thing I was using back then on 2022. Yeah. So,
What do you think? Would you agree with the statement of SEO isn't overlapping with LLM optimization? Everything we do is overlaid now, that LLMs overlap. So SEO is in the middle. Everything that we do in the end has either a direct or indirect implication. But there are things that are outside of the competency of SEO that impact LLMs. And so we might have to stretch that role, or we might have to grow beyond just I edit keywords on a page to I handle PR. I handle, I get press releases done, or I find, network partnerships to plug into. I consider, ad campaigns you should kick off. If I don't manage it myself, you should use this person, leverage email, etc.
Yeah. You have to, we have to grow. I remember when I started just SEO, I was just in the website, right? Trying to get some backlinks, but it was just optimizing the website. And then at some point that just stopped working. I'm like, okay, what is going on? What I need to do? And that is when now I have to like press releases, collaborations, finding, like you say, an ad manager, or now with web developers, or partnering with reporters. It's just the plate for us became bigger and bigger to handle. And sometimes, yeah, I feel that you need to have the foundation, with the SEO. But if you want that scale to the next level, yeah, you just need to branch out, because then you're just gonna be looking at your Google Analytics and like, okay, why is not going past this number? Why is the analytics just not being steady or going down? So we have to grow. I had to do some grown up in this industry really fast, because it was just like, no. I need to learn about this AI thing. I need to learn about uh, PR, like you're talking about, is a lot. And also investing in my own learning, right? Because yeah, going into YouTube, TikTok, or networking with other experts, it can work at some point, but I myself, I do needed that one-on-one support sometimes. And like, I had some clients and some situations that I really couldn't find the answer. And I need someone that has done it to help me. And yeah, I had to do some investing too.
I think it's a necessary step up because, you know, from I've been doing this since 2007. And I'm going to be honest, folks. A large part of what I did was Google stuff and research it and try to find answers. And now we have capabilities to do that more, through Claude or otherwise. So people are going to be turning to those. So you need to have a network of fellow professionals you can ask those questions to and kind of work it out. So it's you can't. No man is an island in our digital marketing economy these days.
Yeah, I agree. And now with a lot of noise that you see, like a lot of experts are coming in, or a lot of new tools that are coming in, is like, now it's that you also have to filter who to trust, what to trust, because it's like now everybody, not, a lot of new things are coming in that claim to give you this expertise or this result. And yeah, sometimes it's like, oh, you also have to do now research, like, okay, let me do a checklist. Who do I go with? Yeah, yeah, it's a lot.
It was hard enough with the snake oil sales to small business owners in the generation before.
Mhm.
Because we have to be honest that not everybody that said that they were doing good SEO was actually doing good SEO. They were outsourcing to overseas writers. They were using Fiverr for their backlinks. They were,
Yeah,
doing prompt injections to get comment spam links. There's all kinds of gray and black hat stuff. And a whole lot of small business owners, like 1 out of 4 prospects that would come to me would be like, well, I had this terrible experience, and the first 10 minutes, 15 minutes was consoling, that validating their experience. And then I have to prove myself, put out my bona fides. So like, that's just accelerating with, like, you have to show expertise in LLM optimization when nobody knows exactly like how to optimize yet for LLMs. Really, it's a moving target.
yeah,
Like for which models, for which, for GPT, for Claude, that every day there's distance between the two, which is good because now there's genuine competition,
Mm-hmm.
but it means, nobody has truly deep expertise. We can just iterate and say, hey, we've got this base. This is what we know. This is our strategy and how we'll adjust as stuff comes out.
Yeah, it's yeah, I'm thinking about the calls that I had and where like they keep telling these bad experiences. They promise this A, B, and C, and now it's like I'm worse than how I was when I started working with them. So yeah, and there's so many new AI search tools that are coming in. Like you're saying, is like we are just learning in the process. And I always tell them, hey, I do not promise this. This is what has worked for my clients, and I'm showing you this. These are the gaps that I'm seeing yourself. But yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. We have some good learning to do in the industry, which is pretty exciting too, to be honest. Obviously, as you're going through this process and these Google updates, it's like, oh, please give me some break. I just learned something new. Now I had to like research this and that. But it's just adding more tools for us to, keep helping our the business, small businesses. And yeah, that just for me is more exciting looking at through that lens pretty much. Yeah.
What are what are some new tools that you've been adding to your SEO stack? Because, there's hand optimization, but what tools have you found that actually help you move the needle on any of your workflows?
So I haven't I'm more like researching in the moment. For example, SE ranking, I'm really, really looking into them. Because I've been using, for example, for my analytics, now they have SEMrush One. I've been using that, but it's like what I'm leaning more towards is like how can I condense all the brands mentioning my clients now with AI? Because sometimes my clients get a lead from ChatGPT, but I'm not able to see that data yet and to see okay what click, what is it that work for them, and sometimes I just want to condense that data. So but oh my God, I was searching and it was so many of them. I'm like, okay, I need to take a break because, and then they started pitching me. I'm like, oh, okay, le- I'll come back to it. So it's like I froze.
Yeah.
I'm in this freezing moment and like, okay, let me not add anything because sometimes I just swipe, and yeah, I also need to work on that too. So it's like I'm in that session of my life pretty much. Yeah.
I've recently added OpenSEO .so to my stack because it's an open source solution by Ben Sinescu. Pretty cool. It's got your basic feature set and it's cheap. It's like 10 or $20 a month versus like the challenge with SEMrush or Ahrefs. It's like they want $100 or $200 a month, and you're like, oh, I guess I need this platform, and it's got all of this stuff, but you know,
It's
it's
like,
tough.
yeah, it's like, do you really need it? Because sometimes it's like, sometimes I just have to look at the data, let's say on Google Analytics, let's say the very basic ones, and I'm like, okay, I didn't really need to go to this SEMrush, so I didn't even use it this month, and they already
Yeah.
swiped it back for like the 200 plus. It's just I feel that new tools that are better, are more concise, and everything are coming up. I just need to like really like checked off. So maybe I might check that one that you just mentioned because yeah, I feel the one that I have is good, but it kind of like I outgrow that one. It's like I need something else maybe. Yeah. So
For
mm,
me, it's just been all about trying to get stuff in connected into my Claude. code instance.
Mm.
Like I connected Google Search Console MCP actually is through OpenSEO, so I didn't have to do something extra. That was a bonus. So now I can just query and say, "Oh, hey, look at SEO Arcade and give me a realistic view and push it as a document so I can review it and give me different viewpoints on it." That was so useful. And I haven't done it yet, so I can't tell how well it works, but I'm connecting Google Analytics MCP
Oh,
today.
okay.
So, maybe you go down that way,
Yeah.
and plus,
Yeah.
Open SEO has an MCP as well. So you can say, give me a backlink picture for this domain, grab the GSC, and tomorrow I'll be able to say, grab the Google Analytics, and let's actually kind of compare. Because one thing that I really want to do, and I messaged Ben at Open SEO about this was, you know how Google Search Console will tell you there's like 100 clicks to a page? Then the table underneath it will give you like seven of the actual queries. But if we have like the rough rankings for the page, we have Google Analytics for the actual organic traffic, and then the Search Console to give, the positioning, we should
Mhm.
be able to fill in some of the gap. Maybe triangulation or a potential suggestion. But if they're only giving 14 out of 100, that's this is more accurate, sticking your finger in the air as far as like, okay, well, it's nice to know I got 100 clicks. You're telling me 14 of them. That is not usable levels of data.
Yeah, that's, I feel that this is one complaint that all of us always have is like, it's like everywhere I go and search or hear podcasts, it's like we always complain about these numbers, analytics. It's like, please give us something that it can help us solve that. But okay, I'm gonna go to that. I'm gonna go to that tool that you just mentioned, and maybe yeah, it was today the podcast that I needed to just be here to get off my freeze zone that I'm in right now. Yeah, because it's a lot out there. But yeah.
I'm curious, what's in your playbook or your tactics right now? Like what's a juicy thing, either a tried and true or something new that you've come up with, but somebody comes to the table, what's in your back pocket for tactics or your top strategy?
Oh my gosh. I wouldn't be able to pick one. And I don't even know if like, oh, it's something really new because I've been really just coming back to what I mentioned before of this brand optimization. And that's what I've been just staying at because that's what's been working pretty much. So, for example, I had a client that she was just launching last year a masterclass. She was a career coach. So I just did a press release for her and she was doing her ads, social media, email marketing. Before she used to get only like 100 attendees to these master classes. But when we combine all of this, and we even use Reddit for this, she got over 1,000 to that one master class during December because, and it was the holiday season. But, and since then I'm like, okay, brand optimization. And I've been applying that to every other client and you know, they're happy. They're happy. Thank God. I'm working with them. So I've been just staying in that brand optimization. It has worked and I hope it continues to work. And I've been just talking about this pretty
It
much.
seems to me the shorthand for it is of brand optimization. Like there's work to do on site, but off site, would you agree that the action item is go where the people are, even if there's a pay to play? Because SEOs, I think we got either shafted with the low end of the budget and we just designated ourselves not to have any outreach budget, or I don't know, like, we just limited ourselves, but there's absolutely arguments to be made of like, you know what? There's a local event that's aligned to this. We should get listed in it. We should sponsor that. That's a legit SEO use case. And we should suggest that. And the benefit, you know, ties into other aspects of their business. You know, oh, it'll link to their social media as well. Well, it's a social thing, you know. No, we need to grab hold of it and not be afraid to say, hey, let's get you mentioned, let's get you visible where there's an audience.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. You have to be where your audience is. And now they're in a lot of places. So what you just mentioned, like, I do tell my clients, hey, I found this opportunity. This is the budget. And I tell them I feel we should go for it. And it works. It works. They have the option to say yes or no, or, I included already in the budget with their SEO. But yeah, we have to, when it comes to the offsite, yeah, I feel that just do it. It's just simple. Just do it. It's working. Because I have found, based on the data of my clients, some of them get leads from places that we have never heard before. And it's fascinating for me because now, before it was just Google, Yahoo, and a call from your Google My Business, but now it's so many different places they come from. And sometimes it's because you did a blog collaboration or a press release. Yeah. So they are everywhere.
I like Zip Local. They have listings of local charities or entities that are looking for sponsors of businesses for events or nonprofit happenings in your community. Fantastic way to get a link, get visibility, and with proper follow up, you can usually, you know, it's a couple $100, like 200 to 300 maybe, but you know that if you follow up on it, you know, that could turn into you hosting their winter ball. And oh, hey, John needs a new web page. Oh, you do this? Like you get in there and you can spark that moment, you know, especially with if we're if we're on the edge and learning so much and we're constantly like trying to like figure out what's happening next, like these small business owners are so far behind and it's every day more and more apparent like okay,
Yes.
like if an SMB owner decides to get on the ball, like where do you even, you know, how do you turn and how much do you trust these prompts? You know, it's hard. So if we
Yes.
can, you know, be there through a trusted entity, you know, a Rotary Club, like that's a level of trust that can be transferred.
And oh my God, it's so good that you're saying that because just last week I was coming up with, to reach out to these local charities in local places. And now that you told me this too, it's crazy because especially what I seen on the type of clients that I, work with, online business service providers, they really just look at the national level or international level. And sometimes you have so much gold in the local target community. They feel that, oh, maybe I'm a career coach or resume writer. I live in a very small village. No one is going to be searching for me. And then when we start getting local citations, your Google My Business profile, you start getting more calls locally than, from another state. So it's just, we have to really, um, and I've seen those other experts and where sometimes the clients tell them, I don't want to target my local community. I don't want to do this. I just want to international. Oh, that's not I don't feel they're going to be in my area. And then you just run with that. But you see so much gold in and doing local SEO per se. And it's pretty much a disservice on my end, I feel. Yeah.
Well, it's been great chatting with you. Tell the folks who are listening how they can connect with you. SEO by Sonia on TikTok. Shout out your website. Anything cool you've got going on, I'll make sure it gets linked in the show notes.
Thank you. So you can find me on LinkedIn by Sonia Urquilla, also here on TikTok, SEO by Sonia on IG as well, and on my website, SEO by Sonia. And I have this that I like to do on video. I send you a video of a quick website audit. If you want, just fill out the form and I'll send you a website audit. I like to do that for small businesses and just connect. And I'm here to answer any questions. And thank you, Jeremy, for giving me the opportunity to be here. That was pretty cool.
My pleasure. For everybody that's listening, check out unscriptedseo.com for more episodes, plenty of interviews. I've added new topical hubs, so if you have a specific itch you're trying to scratch, you can find previous guests like Rand Fishkin, Grant Simmons, and others in the industry who've interviewed with me. And also check out SEOarcade.com. Apply to fresh scrape of paint thanks to Claude. Rebranded that podcasting and the keyword research tool I built myself. So check it out. Thanks for stopping by.
Thank you.